2 dead at a problem intersection.
There's at least 10 people that have died at this intersection.
What can be done to make it safer? Plus, 2 years ago, they were arrested.
Is this an infringement on freedom of expression?
Now protesters are suing. And a perfect storm for seasonal allergies.
Well, my eyes water, my nose runs.
And there's already a run on medicine to fight them.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news. With Tara Nelson. Reporting tonight, Ian White.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. The site of a deadly crash east of Calgary on Sunday has been a problem intersection for years. Despite some traffic safety measures, some people feel not enough has been done following the deaths of 2 women on Mother's Day. As Tyson Fedor reports, improvements are coming, but how long before there's another tragic incident?
It's becoming a far too common sight for Steve Brundage. This Rocky View County intersection of Highways 9 and 564 is rarely without a wooden cross, each one marking the death of someone from a traffic collision.
There's at least 10 people that have died at this intersection.
Brundage grew up near this intersection and still lives nearby today. Through a Freedom of Information request, he found out there have been 36 crashes at this intersection since 2015.
This is the most direct link to the city now. Like when I was a kid, I used to ride my bike on this road, and it was no problem. But now the traffic is so heavy on this road.
On Mother's Day, the intersection once again became the site of a fatal crash. An SUV and pickup truck pulling a trailer collided around 10:30 in the morning, killing a 33-year-old and 63-year-old woman from Calgary in the SUV. A man was also taken to hospital while a child was airlifted by Stars, both listed in critical condition. The driver of the truck also had serious injuries.
The way the lanes are laid out here, I think it's confusing people. Like I think the right lane is straight through right turn, and I think people sitting at the stop sign think the people in the right lane are going to turn.
The province has pushed through on design work for a traffic circle at the intersection.
Everything I've heard, it was an individual that unfortunately went through a stop sign. So all accidents are preventable, but we want to make sure that we design a road network that can make intersections as safe as possible. So that roundabout design work is nearing complete, and we'll make sure we can have construction on that as soon as possible.
But that construction can't come soon enough. Brundage wants to see further temporary measures before another crash takes place.
They could lower the speed limit, put a 4-way, and have more enforcement. There's plenty of enforcement down the road in the 70 zone. I don't understand why they couldn't enforce the stop sign more.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Rocky View County.
And RCMP say officers continue to investigate the collision, and there's no word on the status of all 3 people still in hospital. Meantime, police are still investigating the cause of a crash between a motorcycle and a car. It happened around 10 last night on Stony Trail near Métis Trail in the northeast. The motorcyclist was taken to hospital with critical, life-threatening injuries. A crash on Highway 22 south of Cochrane caused major traffic backups this afternoon. It happened about 1.2 kilometers south of Cochrane near Township Road 252. Alberta Health Services says the collision occurred around 3:45 and involved 4 vehicles. They identified 4 adult patients, but say 2 declined treatment, while the other 2 were transported to the Foothills Hospital in stable but non-life-threatening condition. One person was sent to hospital following a basement fire this morning. It started just before 3 a.m. in the northeast community of Thorncliffe. Emergency crews say the fire was quickly growing when they arrived. 4 people escaped. One was hospitalized for minor burns and smoke inhalation. 1 dog and 2 cats died. 3 other dogs and 2 cats were rescued.
It can be difficult as pets try to either escape on their own or they end up hiding on their own. So trying to locate them. So usually we'll have a conversation with the family or the residents of the house prior to maybe perhaps where the animals might be.
Investigators are still trying to determine the cause. A group of pro-Palestinian protesters are now suing over their removal from the University of Calgary campus 2 years ago. 9 people claim they were injured, traumatized, and unfairly prosecuted in May of 2024 when police removed their encampment. Their lawsuit also claims the university, the city, and Calgary police violated their rights. Tyler Barrow has more.
We're here today to be able to ask for justice and to demand it. It's a breach of our charter rights.
2 years ago, these protesters were part of a demonstration against the war in Gaza in the University of Calgary's TFDL quad. Now, they're back to talk about legal action.
Get a clear statement from the court that the University of Calgary, the Calgary Police, and the City of Calgary were wrong to violently disperse the encampment that was set up here.
Organizers say the objective of the protest was to have the university disclose investments it held and divest any support to Israeli causes. Police moved in on the trespass order from U of C to remove the encampment. 4 demonstrators were later issued tickets. According to protesters, all charges were later withdrawn. But Katie Anderson, one of the 9 plaintiffs, says she suffered a concussion during the melee.
They hit me on the head with a baton and their shield. They pushed me to the ground. A bike was pushed into me. I had bruises all over my legs.
Many others allege similar injuries and psychological trauma. The lawsuit filed in Court of King's Bench claims 7 Charter of Rights were violated, including freedom of speech, peaceful assembly and equality, as well as being subjected to arbitrary arrests and unreasonable search and seizure. The plaintiffs are also seeking monetary damages amounting to over $330,000. A senior litigation specialist highlights the core legal arguments of this case come down to if the university is subjected to charter controls, which is reserved for government actors.
Is this an infringement on freedom of expression and, freedom of a peaceful protest, freedom of association, or is this essentially private property?
None of these allegations have been proven in court. The university says it will review any statement of claim received through the courts and respond as appropriate. The city says it won't comment while it's before the courts, and CPS says it has not been formally served.
Tyler joins us now. And Tyler, when can we expect the plaintiffs to appear in court?
Ian, the lawyer representing the plaintiffs, Chris Wade with Engel Law, says no court date has been scheduled with the King's Bench of Alberta. He points to a minimum of 3 years before there is a trial date. No applications for pre-trial applications are scheduled at this time either. Ian?
Thank you, Tyler. A judge has certified a class action lawsuit against Lafarge, centering around its cement facility near Exshaw. Claimants argue the plant is noisy, dusty, and affects their health and the environment. They allege negligence over dust, noise, and vibration issues. The parties will meet with the judge later this summer to decide the next steps in the lawsuit. Expect to hear more on Alberta's separation in the coming months, a lot more. As referendum talk ramps up, more public figures are weighing into the debate. This morning, a government committee met to discuss the future of the Forever Canadian petition. And tonight, a forum will be held to discuss separation's potential fallouts. Tim Brooke explains.
Former Deputy Premier Thomas Lukaszuk spent last summer collecting about 439,000 signatures on his Forever Canadian petition. It was then verified and approved by Elections Alberta in December. But 5 months later, it's stuck in limbo. This UCP-led committee could direct government to table policy or hold a referendum. It did neither on Monday.
We should do what is the right thing for our constituents, is the right thing for Albertans as elected officials, is stand in this House and speak to whether or not every member of that legislature supports this question.
We are at the end of our meeting today.
The opposition Alberta NDP has been accusing the Premier of purposely delaying the process to avoid a public MLA vote on separation.
She knows that it is her future leadership that's at risk. She knows that her party is now beholden to these separatists. So it is not surprising to me that the Premier can't do what Albertans are asking to do.
I'll just let the independent committee do the assessment and then make a report to us about what they think the path forward should be.
The Premier has been more outspoken as of late about her desire for Alberta to remain a part of Canada. She says meetings in Ottawa last week gave her more confidence.
It's time for a divorce. As I told the Prime Minister, it's more like couples counseling. Let's get together at a table, let's identify the issues that are problematic, and let's work them out.
Movement on an energy MOU is expected soon, but those in the federal government say the separation conversation is bigger than just 1 or 2 policies.
The case for Canada is stronger than any individual moment.
That's why Calgary's only Liberal MP will be lending his voice to a United Canada event on Monday night. He'll speak alongside former Premier Jason Kenney.
This is a conversation that needs to happen across the political spectrum. I might not even be the best voice for all audiences, but I want to make sure that I'm putting my voice out there.
And Tim joins us from the University of Calgary tonight, where the Case for a United Canada event is happening. And Tim, attendees believe this conversation needs to be amplified in a hurry.
Well, Ian, as of right now, there is no official question on separation guaranteed to be on the referendum come October. But the Premier made it pretty clear today she believes there's still time to add a question to that referendum should it meet all the requirements. And an Edmonton court right now is scheduled any day to make a final decision on another separation petition that has been submitted to Elections Alberta. So those here tonight believe there should be a little bit more urgency and there should be a bigger push to really educate the public on what exactly separation could mean.
A lot of Albertans, maybe 1 in 4, who are saying this is a chance to send Ottawa a message. We're ticked off. Maybe this is how we get leverage. So we have the pro-Canada people like me have to point out that that really hasn't worked out all that well for Quebec. They are a have-not province. I don't want to be a major equalization recipient. I don't want to be seeking special favors from Ottawa.
So an empty theater behind me right now, but in about 20 minutes this event is about to kick off, and right now they're just opening up the doors for the sold-out event. So about 450 people will be coming in here. Ian, I'll be here throughout the evening, and we'll be on CTV News tonight at 11:30 with all the updates on how exactly this conversation goes.
Thanks very much, Tim. The next phase of the Bears Paw feeder main replacement is starting this week, but if things don't go according to plan, the city is warning Calgarians about the potential for more water restrictions. Moses Waldu has more.
A new parallel water feeder main will be installed along 34th Avenue Northwest between 73rd and 89th Street. The city will use what they are calling an open cut method. It involves digging a trench and restoring the surface to its pre-constructed state, making it quicker to install considering the condition of the existing pipe.
Since January, we've heard 15 wire breaks on the pipe, spread across the entire pipe. So no one specific location, but as I've said before, it is critically ill and it needs to be replaced.
Crews will begin cross-connection work at 2 locations, one on 83rd Street and another on 77th Street between 33rd and 34th Avenue to connect future replacement pipe to the larger system, which could be complete in June. Michael Thompson says that while they are on schedule, Calgarians should be preparing for the worst.
So we want to remind all Calgarians to be prepared in case the pipe does break. We would need to go into stage 4 water restrictions and indoor water conservation again. We don't have an indication that that will happen, but we want to make sure everyone is as prepared as possible.
The city also warns residents surrounding the project to expect delays, parking restrictions, and short-term access changes over the next 2 months.
We'll be going along the block and putting in temporary water services and items like that. And we anticipate that installation of the pipe will take about 4 weeks in front of each block. Some of the blocks are longer, some of the blocks are shorter, so that's just a typical 4 weeks. And then we'll be coming in behind that to reinstate the roadworks and the sidewalk and asphalt.
Stage A of the project is on schedule according to the city. Over 1 kilometer of the 3.7 kilometer concrete pipe is installed, breaking through the tunneling between Edworthy Park and Shaganappy Trail. Wednesday, the city will begin construction on the final vertical shaft located on 16th Avenue near 44th Street Northwest.
And Moses joins us now. Moses, with Stage A construction ongoing, what can residents and motorists expect over the course of the year?
Well, until the connection is made by both Stage A and Stage B, the city is expecting full completion of the project by December. That said, connecting both of them would mean more water restrictions as we get later in the fall. And of course, people are going to have to be wary around then. More details on that will be coming in around October, Ian.
Good to know. Thank you, Moses. A man on a 5-province run has made his way to Calgary. Carter Armstrong started in Vancouver on April 10th and is aiming to get to his hometown of Dryden, Ontario. He's been running about a marathon every day. The 23-year-old says his solo run is his way of bringing attention to mental health issues.
I was in a dark place, and I actually attempted suicide 3 months ago, so this was kind of a spur of the moment thing, and I just wanted to do it for mental health awareness and get people talking and raise money for it. I went for a run the next day and this came to my mind, and so I started training for a month and then I took off.
Armstrong continues his run heading east from Calgary tomorrow. He's raised about $15,000 so far for the Canadian Mental Health Association. His goal is $100,000. He has a GoFundMe campaign going. Just search for Carter Armstrong's Mental Health Awareness and Education Run. And I imagine if you're out for a run, pretty good weather for it, although earlier today the wind was rather strong.
It was a little windy today, noticeable for sure. We got in that 50-kilometer-per-hour range in the city today. That was mainly in the morning, and then it has slowed down for the afternoon. We got up to 16, also our current temperature at the airport. And there you go, there's a look at the winds, 19 kilometers per hour. So more reasonable, and the wind should be calm tomorrow. And look at that blue sky. You are going to see so much blue sky tomorrow. So we've had a few sprinkles in the city, but that has since cleared out. When you look at the next 24 hours, nothing really to talk about other than a ton of sunshine and a high of 23 for tomorrow. After tomorrow, we have a lot of rain in the forecast. I'll show you that coming up.
Thanks, Danielle. Seasonal allergies are no fun. Still ahead, a perfect storm of pollen. Why this year allergies could be even worse. And the opening of a New York-based burger chain in Calgary that had people lining up. Edmonton's Riverboat is docked and waiting for repairs after a mechanical failure on Mother's Day left around 200 passengers stranded. The Riverboat's owner says during the last cruise of the day, a hydraulic pump stopped functioning properly. He says while the boat was still running, the captain gently beached it and called for help out of an abundance of caution. Edmonton Fire Rescue says all passengers were safely evacuated. Repairs are expected to be finished and the boat back in operation by Thursday night. Calgary now has a Shake Shack, and customers lined up to be the first to try the food and drink at the popular U.S. burger chain. People began lining up at 4:30 this morning for the grand opening of Shake Shack at Chinook Centre. The chain started as a hot dog cart in a park in New York in 2001. It has since grown to more than 400 locations worldwide. There are 5 locations in the Toronto area, but this is the first in Western Canada.
Shake Shack is a brand that we've wanted to have at CF Chinook Centre for a long time. We were extremely lucky that we came to a lease agreement with them.
We're one at a time. We're really focusing on making sure that this shack is excellent for all of our guests, but as guests keep requesting more and more shacks, we'll come meet them where they are.
Chinook Centre management has also revealed that a new tenant will be announced soon for the space that used to be occupied by Nordstrom. There's some bad news for Calgarians who suffer from seasonal allergies. An intense wave of pollen is forecast to burst in the city in the coming weeks. And pharmacists are already seeing a run on medication as people try to prepare. Jordan Canagan reports.
If you suffer from seasonal allergies,
well, my eyes water, my nose runs.
You know the feeling.
You just kind of get pretty stuffed up and, I just got to fight through that.
But after an early spring reprieve from symptoms,
so there's this Claritin.
Get your allergy medicine ready. A perfect storm of pollen is coming to Calgary.
But with that cold spell, it delayed the pollen season. So early pollinators like cedar, maple, alder, they were delayed.
But the allergy forecast from Aerobiology Research Laboratory shows the pollen season is about to get more intense. While some pollen typically appears in late March, Calgary's winter-like start to spring delayed that. Now it is set to burst alongside other allergenic trees.
So it's not good if you're an allergy sufferer. But with that collision of two different kinds of pollen types, early pollinators and sort of in-season pollinators, which is right now, we're seeing a lot more pollen in the air.
There are many allergy medication varieties. Pharmacists say people should ask about what's best for them.
But in terms of nasal sprays, there's decongestants or there's steroid nasal sprays with help with inflammation. And so it can be difficult unless you're trained in knowing the medication. And so, yeah, it is a good idea to talk to a healthcare provider.
As a matter of fact, I just left Costco and bought allergy medication.
Jordan Cadigan, CTV News, Calgary.
And Calgary ranks 8th worst in Canada for tree pollen. Windsor, Ontario tops the list for the most challenging Canadian city for seasonal allergies.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
I do feel badly for people with seasonal allergies, but for the rest of us who seem to be okay with pollen out there, it's pretty good weather this week.
It really is, and very summer-like tomorrow. In fact, this week carries a bunch of spring-like weather. The roller coaster ride of spring, I shall say, because we have summer weather for tomorrow, lots of sunshine, lots of heat, and then we drop in temperature and we have a lot of rain in the forecast. Rain that we really desperately need. We don't need it on May long weekend though, and that's where a lot of it's going to fall. So I'll show you that so I can get you prepared. Okay, 16 degrees in the city right now. That's our daytime high, current temperature, and right where we should be for this time of year. All temperatures are pretty much where they should be for this time of year, give or take a degree or two. 19 in Lethbridge right now, and Medicine Hat, Brooks, up through Drumheller, Pincher Creek as well, sitting at 19 degrees. We did have a gusty day, and in Calgary specifically, the gusts were mainly in the morning hours, where we maxed out at 56 kilometers per hour, and then things started to quiet down a little bit for the afternoon. Pincher Creek max was 57, Lethbridge as well, and in those lower 40s, Brooks and Medicine Hat, Drumheller, lower 50s, Brooks, Medicine Hat, Drumheller in the 40s. We're looking at 40 kilometer per hour gusts for tomorrow for many communities in southern Alberta, but not very often. So a much calmer day with regards to the winds tomorrow. High pressure building in tomorrow that promotes that sinking air, that stability. So yes, we had a couple sprinkles in Calgary. This is now since tracked off towards Brooks. And when I show you the future cast here, this really dies out by about 8 o'clock tonight. High pressure really building in, stabilizing things as we head into tomorrow. So that means tomorrow, nothing but sun out there. You may see a couple clouds, but overall it's a beautiful, stable, bright, and warm day. In fact, you could say hot because all communities will get into the 20s in southern Alberta. Wednesday, the clouds will increase in the morning hours. This is basically system number 1. So Wednesday, as we get into the afternoon, a couple sprinkles possible in Calgary, but off to the east and to the south, rain could be actually quite heavy in some spots. And it's Wednesday night and through early Thursday morning that we're looking at picking up a decent amount of rain in the city and to the south. You can see some of those pockets really suggesting some isolated spots of heavy rain. Big douse for the southeast corner, which is where we need it most. And then the next system arrives on long weekend. Okay, 23 degrees, sunny for tomorrow. Holding on to the 20s for Wednesday, 2 to 4 millimeters of rain Wednesday night through early Thursday morning. Stabilizing on Thursday, but then the next system arrives Friday and Saturday. We could pick up 10 to 20 millimeters of rain Friday night through Saturday. And look at Saturday's daytime high, just 7. That's your Action Furnace 5-day forecast.
Thanks, Danielle. A new initiative from the city is aiming to make sports more accessible. The program, called Sport Hub, works with schools and community groups to bring coaches and experts to the classroom and the neighborhood to help get kids into sport. The city will work with school boards to select locations where students are facing more barriers to sports. The program is free, and organizers hope removing those barriers like cost and equipment can help keep kids playing.
Sport organizations also provide all sport equipment that's required to play. You saw some examples here today. So that further helps to reduce cost barriers for some families. And programs are also offered in schools, in neighborhood spaces, reducing any of those transportation barriers by bringing the programming directly into community.
45 communities and 90 schools will be part of the program this year. You can find out more details at calgary.ca/sporthub. The high price of gas has a lot of people rethinking their summer vacation. Next, why there's some optimism in Waterton Lakes National Park as many of us plan to stay closer to home. And it could be a long 3 weeks for some Canadians who are on that ill-fated cruise ship infected with hantavirus. That's how long they'll be quarantined. A new survey by the Tire and Rubber Association shows that 66% of Canadians say high gas prices are prompting them to cancel or limit road trips. But there is some optimism in southern Alberta and southeastern BC with the return of the Canada Strong Pass and free admission into national parks this summer. High visitation is expected in Waterton Lakes National Park.
Bookings look really strong, really good. I think with what's happening in the world, I think Canada is a safe destination. I think a lot of tourists and international visitors want to come visit Canada.
The traveler in general is probably going to be making some maybe different travel decisions, and that may mean that they look at shorter road trips, or they may consider traveling a little bit closer to home. And I think for where Fernie is positioned, we're really in a sweet spot in that there's a wealth of cities that are in Alberta and BC that Fernie lies sort of a short drive away from.
Some Waterton hotels are running specials, including golf, spa, and food and beverage packages to jumpstart the season. Precautionary measures are in place with all Canadian passengers who are on board a cruise ship and affected by a deadly outbreak of hantavirus. They're now home and isolating. Those possibly exposed on international flights are also being monitored. None are infected. Heather Wright reports.
Most of the roughly 130 passengers aboard the MV Hondius have returned home or are in the process of getting there, including 4 Canadians who arrived in British Columbia after being flown from the Canary Islands on Sunday.
All 4 were and continue to be well and have no symptoms.
BC's top doctor Bonnie Henry says while strict isolation protocols were put in place aboard the cruise ship in early May, 2 passengers, an American and a French national, have tested positive for the virus since returning home, reinforcing the need for strict public health protocols during the incubation period.
We are all hoping that the 4 people who are here with us will remain well through this incubation period, but this is exactly why we are taking the precautions and why plans are in place should their conditions change.
Henry says the quarantine clock for the 4 Canadians started yesterday. They will quarantine for 21 days and be monitored for 42, the longest known incubation period for the virus, a rare rodent-borne pathogen that can cause serious illness in humans. 3 people have died since the deadly outbreak began aboard the Hondius, with at least 7 confirmed cases and 2 reported cases. More than 20 countries are now working to contain the spread of the virus, including Canada, where at least 10 people are being monitored. Today, Ontario's Minister of Health confirmed a 3rd person is now self-isolating in the province.
We have not seen any indication that they were in close contact and would become symptomatic.
Today, the ship's captain released a video praising the resolve of the passengers and the crew.
And I must commend my crew for their courage and the selfless resolve that they showed time and again in the most difficult moments.
And in a sign of just how quickly things can change, the World Health Organization says the French passenger who began experiencing symptoms on the flight back home is now in hospital in critical condition. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
After 40 years, they have plenty to celebrate. Next, the Youth Singers of Calgary anniversary performance, celebrating the organization's massive legacy in our community. The Youth Singers of Calgary are celebrating a milestone. At one point during Saturday's 40th anniversary show at the Jubilee, 500 people were on stage for a mass performance involving current members and many generations of alumni. It's estimated that since its inception, Youth Singers has influenced more than 10,000 performers.
For the youth, they have a safe place to come every week where their friends are. They get to express themselves, sing, dance, have fun, and then they get to achieve something. They almost don't even notice how hard they're working, but when they get on that stage and hear the applause, that confidence will give them skills they'll carry with them their entire life.
Emmett says it's staggering to think about how many former members are now music teachers or choreographers helping to cultivate talent in our city. Very impressive organization. Well, sharing is a concept we want our kids to embrace. One family learned the hard way their toddler didn't quite understand it. This 2-year-old didn't want to share his toys with his brother, so he hid them in a vent. It was a big surprise to his parents, who had no idea the vent opened this way.
What
I'll tell you, there's a lot of toys in there.
There's a lot of toys there.
What a smart little guy.
But I'm sure by kindergarten he'll have it all figured out, and he'll learn about the idea of sharing with his brother. Yes, sharing is caring. Here's a Mother's Day gift that was a genuine surprise. What's so funny? Let me explain. This woman received her childhood portrait after her sister found it at a thrift store. Apparently, their grandma had donated it, so she bought the photo and gave it to her sister for Mother's Day.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
Best present ever, right?
And you know what? It just makes me think not everything has to be recycled. Like family photos don't have to be recycled. It's maybe send the frame to the Goodwill store. Who
Probably
knows?
a good idea.
Well, thank goodness she bought it back.
It's
back in the family.
A lovely coincidence.
Yeah.
It's becoming the most adorable tradition of the Stanley Cup playoffs, the Stanley Pup. This is the third year for the event. It features 32 pups, one from each NHL franchise, that are up for adoption. This year, there's extra Calgary content with Flames goaltender Devin Cooley making an appearance. Cooley and his rabbit Tito are big supporters of the local charity Parachutes for Pets. Last year, the Flames entry was this guy, Dustin Wolf.
Love it.
The Stanley Pup event will be broadcast in the U.S. and Canada on June 8th. Oh, he is so adorable.
Devin Cooley and a lot of the Flames do a wonderful job with the Parachutes for Pets.
Yeah, it's a wonderful organization. Well, a crash in Vancouver has many people wondering, how did that happen? Still to come, how a motorcycle ended up hanging from a traffic light.
Oh, look at that beautiful Skywatch weather camera. Earlier, we did have a few isolated sprinkles in the city, a couple raindrops. That has since cleared out of Calgary. We've got blue sky, and this blue sky is here to stay all day tomorrow. 16 degrees currently. Also, that's our daytime high, and bang on normal for this time of year, right where we should be. Looking around, 19 in Lethbridge, Brooks, Drumheller, Medicine Hat, and Pincher Creek right now, close to that in Milk River at 18. We did have a gusty day, or at least noticeably windy, you could say, because it wasn't excessive, but it was around that 60 mark. Lethbridge to Pincher Creek. Calgary was in the 50s. Brooks, Medicine Hat was in the 50s. They should calm down to 40 kilometers per hour gusts tomorrow or less. So a much calmer day with regards to the winds. There you go. That's fizzling out now around the Brooks area and down the Trans-Canada. But by 8 o'clock, this is all done. We have a high pressure building in, and this is stabilizing things for us. That will give us 7 degrees at 8 a.m. tomorrow. And then 23 at least is our high. Lots of sunshine. That's your 24-hour forecast, brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. Look at that. Kamloops 29 tomorrow, Kelowna 28, Edmonton 23. And on the Alberta side, especially in southern Alberta, a whole lot of sunshine for tomorrow, and that's why temperatures will be able to climb as well. 25 for High River, 26 for Drumheller and Lethbridge, 25 for Medicine Hat, and 24 for Pincher Creek. So overall, we're looking at very toasty temperatures tomorrow. Things fall apart a little bit. We do need the moisture. It looks like we'll get a lot of it for a long weekend. I'll talk more about that in a little while.
Thanks, Danielle. The site of a deadly crash on Mother's Day has been a problem intersection for years. A 33-year-old woman and a 63-year-old woman in an SUV died when they collided with a pickup pulling a trailer at highways 9 and 654. One person was treated for minor burns and smoke inhalation, and a dog and 2 cats died in a house fire in Thorncliffe this morning. And pro-Gaza protesters are suing police, the city, and the University of Calgary. They allege their charter rights were violated when police removed their encampment at the U of C in 2024. Many people are wondering how a motorcycle ended up hanging from a traffic light after a crash in the Vancouver area. The motorcyclist was seriously injured when he collided with a car, but is expected to recover. Sinjin Alexander reports.
At first glance, this seems impossible. This must be a prank or AI. But it's real, all right. And now one of the most analyzed and talked about motorcycle crashes.
It's like, wow, that really happened, you know?
Moments before the collision, watch the middle of the intersection. A sedan is making a left-hand turn. Then a bike enters the frame. It's up on one wheel as the rider appears to hit the brakes before colliding with the car. Mike McDonald, instructor at V-Twin Motorcycle Riding School.
Oftentimes when something like this does happen, everybody's thinking, oh, is this rider okay? Do we know him?
Police say the rider was hurt, but is expected to survive. Now, we don't have all the details yet. Investigators will likely reconstruct the crash. We are told intersections are one of the most dangerous spots on the road for motorbikes.
Because we have risks coming from all different locations, both sides, in front of us, turns, all of those things.
Ryan Austin is also an instructor and retired police sergeant. He figures the forensic team will be looking at angles of contact. And because the bike left the ground, it might reveal how fast it was going based on throw distance.
From a legal perspective, the officers doing the investigation still need to put all the pieces together to show that that video is actually valid.
The kind of car it was and the way the fender was shaped, and of course, you know, the front tire of a motorcycle being as rounded as it is, it was just a perfect storm, and geometry just kind of launched it up.
And since these images are so baffling and has people talking, they hope it reminds riders the importance of defensive training and drivers to stay alert as motorcycle season officially gets underway. St. John Alexander, CTV News, Vancouver.
Wow. Pearson Airport in Toronto is getting a series of renovations that will cost billions of dollars. BNM Bloomberg's Mirella Fernandez has more.
The initial $3 billion will be used to bring a state-of-the-art lighting control system to the airfield. The 30 kilometers of conveyor belt that handles baggage will also be upgraded. The changes will allow Canada's busiest airport to serve up to 65 million passengers a year. In 2023, it served 45 million passengers. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is slightly up to 73.11. West Texas Intermediate is up to 98.13. Western Canadian Select is up to $75, and the TSX gained 61 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Mirella Fernandez.
About 5,200 people ran in the Sport Chek Mother's Day Run, Walk and Wheel. For almost 50 years, the run has served as the largest family fundraiser in support of the neonatal units at Calgary hospitals. The run started at Chinook Centre and wound through several Calgary neighborhoods before runners returned to Chinook. Many of these runners started coming with their parents and are now continuing the tradition by bringing their own children. Calgarians experienced the vibrant spirit of Hong Kong over the weekend as Asian Heritage Month continues. The Chinese Cultural Center provided the space for the celebration of Hong Kong's sights, sounds, and flavors. The event featured open-air food stalls. Organizers say as more people from Hong Kong immigrate to our city, it's important for Calgarians to know how Hong Kong has evolved over the decades.
Because most of the Western people, they're still thinking about Hong Kong is like 1950 with the fishbowl and the harbor. Well, but that's like 15 years ago. Nowadays, Hong Kong is like a financial economy in the Asia area.
2021 census data estimates almost 11,000 immigrants from Hong Kong call Calgary home. Stampeder veterans have joined training camp. Coming up, Glenn tells us how a new wide receiver is expected to fit in. McMahon Stadium was a busy place on Saturday as football fans met the newest members of the Calgary Stampeders. This is Junior Stamps Camp, a chance for young fans to brush up on their football skills or learn about the game from Stamps rookies. 300 youngsters learned jumping, throwing, catching, and tackling. Main training camp is underway for the Calgary Stampeders. Glenn is back with us. And Glenn, the veterans joined the rookies yesterday.
And Ian, the Stamps don't have much time before they hit the field for their first preseason game. The Stamps host the Saskatchewan Roughriders on Monday at McMahon. Stampeders didn't go hard into free agency this offseason. Instead, they took care of their own. Now, one player they did sign is receiver Dejon Brissett. Their wide receiver comes to the Stamps from the Toronto Argonauts. It's a good get for the Stampeders. He's a Canadian, signed a 2-year deal with the club. Brissett is a big target, 65 receptions, 907 yards and 3 touchdowns last season.
It's an honor. You know, they have a great thing going on. We have a great thing going on here, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. I was very excited once I got the call, and, you know, once the deal was settled, you know, I was ready to go.
What we want to do, though, is move him around. We want to put him in at wideout sometimes, in the slot, use what he's best at, and we're trying to get to know him a little bit. What is he best at, and what are some things that we think he gives us the best option? So very impressed with his knowledge base, but also his work ethic and his attitude. I think he's going to fit in great, and we're looking for him to be a Stamp for a long time.
I would say I'm a jack of all trades. You know, I could play every position. I could play all 5. You know, I could stretch the field, get downfield, jump up and go get the ball. I can also block as well. A little bit of everything, but I would say probably, you know, running down the field and going up and getting it.
Kickoff for Monday's game, 1 o'clock at McMahon Stadium. Well, it's been a fantastic Centennial Cup for the Canmore Eagles so far in Prince Edward Island. The Eagles, a perfect 3-0 after beating the hosts from Summerside yesterday. Fantastic start for the Eagles in this game. The Western Capitals give it away. John Szabo says, thank you very much. 1-0 Canmore, just 18 seconds into the game. Let's go to the second period. Early in the period, the Eagles increase their lead. Cohen Doust will be left alone in front. What a move there to beat Justin Robinson. Makes it a 2-0 game. Western Capitals cut into the lead with just a few minutes left in the second. Elliot Mullen will wire this one past Alexander Schweiler. All of a sudden, we've got ourselves a 1-goal game, but the Eagles, well, they restore the 2-goal lead just over a minute later. Tavin Hamilton to Cole Wadsworth loses control of the puck here, but spins around, gets it back, and fires it home. 3-1 after 2, and the Eagles put this one out of reach just 13 seconds into the third. Doused with his second of the game, 4-1 at that point. The Eagles go on to beat Summerside. 5-1 is your final. And the Eagles wrap up the preliminary round tomorrow against Niverville Nighthawks. The playoffs, they start on Friday. Let's go Eagles.
Nice to have an Alberta team still playing hockey at this time of year. Thanks very much, Glenn. And Danielle, we have a nice day tomorrow, but we also get a little rain later on in the week.
Yeah, much needed rain. And you know, let's manage expectations here. We all know that we can't expect nice weather for May long weekend, right?
That's
we all
very
know
true.
That. Don't get your hopes up, right? Okay, so a lot of sunshine, very summery tomorrow. In fact, UV index tomorrow will be high as well. Slap on that sunscreen. Holding on to the 20s for Wednesday, but a lot more cloud cover. Afternoon showers possible Wednesday night and through Thursday, early Thursday morning. 2 to 4 millimeters of rain. Temperatures will drop to the teens for Thursday and Friday, and by Saturday in your long weekend, 5 to 10 millimeters of rain and just a high of 7. Things will get back up there and brighter for Sunday and Monday, though, into the teens. Weather window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, and Alberta's climate.
All right, Danielle, thanks very much. Thank you for joining us, and have a great night.